Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video on the Infinite Baffle channel. My name is Niall and today I'm very pleased to be bringing you a video covering these brand new Eversolo SE100 speakers. Eversolo as a brand, one that have been very prominent over the last couple of years. We're a big fan of their streamers, something that we have covered in the past on the channel. I will put a link to those videos in the description down below if you are interested. But given the success of those and how popular they have been in the world of hi-fi, we were very keen to see if these speakers could replicate the success of the streamers when you consider that at £499, the SE100s are actually Eversolo's very first venture into the passive speaker market. So if you do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up on it, make sure to subscribe for weekly hi-fi content, but without any further ado, let's get into it. The very first time that I came across the SE100s, I learned about them, I kind of saw the design, the price points, all of that kind of stuff. The very first thing that jumped out to me was that at £499, these are something that are undoubtedly designed to go with something like the Eversolo Play. Maybe if you were looking at a different manufacturer, something like the Weem, the Blue Sound, some sort of compact streaming amplifier. I think at the price that they're at, you combine the $499 of the speakers with something like that, you're going to inevitably be coming in with a package that's kind of around that £1,000 price point and gives you what is in theory a really smart, tidy little system. The other thing that of course jumped out was just the design of these, and I think they do look unquestionably like an Eversolo product. I think when you think of the streamers that they offer, they tend to be very compact, very neutral, very modern, and that's exactly what the SE100s here are. I mean, they're obviously a fairly unusual shape compared to what you'd expect from most bookshelf speakers, almost like a cube. They almost give the impression of a subwoofer almost, but I think again, all of this is to go for that kind of modern, minimalist, clean, neutral look, and that's something that the speakers here do very, very well. And I think when someone goes for these, they're probably not going to be using them on speaker stands as we did when we listened to them, but they're more likely going to be using them on something like a sideboard, a media center. And I love the fact, by the way, that even in Eversolo's own advertising, when they do the write-up on this product, they mention the fact that they fit into the IKEA Kallax units, because I don't know about everywhere else in the world, but here in the UK at least, everybody seems to have at least one piece of IKEA Kallax in their house in one form or another. I'll put a picture of it on the screen just in case you don't know what I'm talking about, but they're like a cubed unit, and these actually fit perfectly into the segments. And again, all of that incredibly intentional, and it should mean that for people that are struggling to get speakers into their living room environment, or if it's a really difficult space to house a speaker, these are going to be very, very easy to find a home for. The geometric design does mean they're as tall as they are wide, so they're 11 inches tall, just over 11 inches wide, 7 inches deep, and they have a weight of just roughly 8 kilograms per speaker. One thing that did surprise me is the fact that this only comes in one finish, but then again, most, if not all of the Eversolo products all are the same in that regard. This comes in just the black, or the Starry Night as they call it. I mean, I guess if you're going to do one finish, black would be the one. It is the most neutral, and I think in Eversolo's thinking, they're probably, their thought would be, well, it matches directly with our streaming amplifier finishes, so that kind of makes sense. I do love it with the grill on. I think it's got a very kind of stealthy vibe to it with that on, where it could really, it's very, again, minimalist is the word I would use. If you do take that off though, it definitely has a lot more of a pop to it in the way that it looks. I mean, the way that the silver tweeter and the driver jump out from the design, I also really, really like, though. Again, I think I do lean to preferring having the grill on with these. Sticking with the tweeter and driver, you can see next to me here the Silk Dome tweeter, or the premium Silk Dome tweeter as Eversolo call it, is 25mm, and then it also has the 5¼ inch bass driver as well. One thing that is interesting that some eagle-eyed viewers might have noticed already is that they actually have a mirrored design. So you can see on this speaker here, for example, the tweeter is to my right, whereas this speaker here, the tweeter is to my left. So they are a mirrored design, and that means there is a dedicated left and right channel as opposed to them being identical. Focusing on more numbers, but more on the performance side of things now, they have a peak sensitivity rating of 88 dB and a pretty impressive peak power handling rating of 180 watts as well. They have a peak SPL of 96 dB, and Eversolo themselves recommend that you use these with an amplifier between 20 to 100 watts, which again really solidifies, to me at least, the fact that they want you to use this with some sort of small amplifier, some sort of small streaming amplifier undoubtedly in their minds, of course, having the Eversolo Play, but whether that be the Wii Ultra, whether it be the Bluesound Power Node, whether it be something a bit more higher end, that is the kind of thing where you're going to see people using the SE100s unquestionably. When we actually did our testing and listening, we listened to them with the Eversolo Play, which is obviously going to be the go-to choice for a lot of people pairing this. We also tried it with the Wii Ultra that I've just mentioned, but also the higher end Hi-Fi Rose unit as well, which was interesting compared to the other two. Obviously a lot more expensive, a lot more punchy, and it did make a little bit of a difference, as we'll touch upon now. Despite listening to the speakers here with 3 separate streaming amplifiers though, I will say they always seem to hold on to the core characteristics as a speaker. I thought they were pretty bright, I thought they're very well balanced and just quite a lively, engaging pair of speakers. Now, whilst when we listened to these with the Hi-Fi Rose 520, they gave them a bit more detail, a bit more of a textured, realistic sound, they're still undoubtedly at their core a very kind of fun, laid-back sound that's designed to be not taken super seriously. They've got a nice little punchy bit of low end to them, though I would also add that you were listening to these, or planning to use them, I should say, in kind of an AV system, or you're someone that just really like your low end, you could definitely do with chucking a subwoofer into the mix and you'll really reap the benefits for doing so. And whilst it's obviously not something that's going to be designed to fill a really large space, again, I feel like in a living room, in an office space, anything like that is the kind of setting where this is really going to shine. I mean, in my mind, when I very first saw the promotional pictures and the read-ups about these speakers, the original thought I had was, you know, if you're someone like a student or you've got an office space, somewhere where you can put these on a sideboard with a little streamer, maybe even get a turntable in the mix as well, would be a great little system. It's really interesting because at the $499, let's just call it £500 price point that these have been released at, there is a lot of tough competition, and the first two that came to my mind were the Kef Q1s and the Wharfedale Dentons, 2 speakers where if you compare these up head to head, they don't have anywhere near the amount of detail as a Kef Q1, they perhaps don't quite fill a room as well either, and then also against the Wharfedales, they don't offer that same amount of warmth or that punchy low end that you get from a Denton. But what they do give you is a bit of everything. It's almost like a jack of all trades, master of none. Again, they're very well balanced and it gives a really nice, fun sound. But I think because of the way they're designed, because of the shape of them, the aesthetic of them, how easy they are to house, there is definitely going to be an environment where these can fit into people's homes. I think Eversolo can be really pleased with their first venture into the bookshelf market here, because at the £499 price point, these are a very well thought out, very well designed, very well balanced speaker. And whilst they might not be everyone's go-to #1 choice, I can certainly see what they were aiming for. And for a lot of people here, these will be a wonderful option, whether it's to go into a smaller environment, whether it's just to make a really clean, modern looking system, whatever it might be, there is definitely a market out there for a speaker like this. I'd be really intrigued to know your thoughts in the comment section down below, because these are quite different to any speaker that we've ever looked at before. So let me know your thoughts on the design. Have you had a chance to listen to them? In the comment section down below. Thank you for tuning in as always, guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we'll see you in the next one. See you soon.